So anyway, good afternoon. Today, 29 August, I'm doing a Zoom meeting for our group. So this group meeting mainly, I want to hear from everybody whether anything else I can do for helping out, either on the part of business or on the part of studying for our exam. So this mainly the few things that I'm thinking to do. So next is that welcome everybody to this particular small Zoom meeting, a quick one. I hope I can finish it in a few minutes. Mainly, I think people tend to think of this, I'm asking people to come for a Zoom meeting and there must be something to sell, which is, I think a lot of people thought that I want to sell certain things like our online subscription or things I have in mind like a multi-level marketing item or whatever. I'm trying to make myself popular or doing something which improve my business. But this is actually not true. This is not true. And I'm here not to sell things. I promise I'm not here to sell anything. So don't be worried. Of course, in the aspect of moving forward, I tend to feel that I am actually being pulled back by things. I'm being pulled back by heavy burden. That whether I'm doing things which is correct or not, I'm not too sure whether I'm doing the correct way in a lot of unknown. And unknown means a lot of time now we are in an unknown because of things changing. Because things are changing for the reason that we are no more as expected to meet face to face and sit down in a coffee shop. So these are concerns that I have also in mind, that people don't deal with each other like before. So anyway, whole idea is whether we can do something on a more like an informal manner where everybody seems to know each other and form a good alliance. So what's the motive? You can invite, I'm inviting everyone to give a survey. If you are able to later on log in or later on go in to my website, which is estateagentexam.com, and then /Zoom survey one. So hopefully you can do a survey and then see whether what you have in mind is the same as what I am going to deliver this afternoon. Right, next we move on. So our afternoon agenda for discussion will be historical perspective, and then future purpose, mission and my vision, so far my results, and then my journey, and also your participation. This is in brief. Indeed, our group started actually very long time ago, about 10 years ago. Although the actual WhatsApp group did not start 10 years ago, but my idea of having a study group for online study of this diploma exam had actually started about 10 years ago. So if you look at my first website, which is the Just Letak website, it started in July 2010. Now it's already 2020 August, and we are celebrating our National Day in a day or two. So this is indeed 10 years ago. So we have started by having two blogspot websites which are free for use. So I have started doing blogspot for part 1 exam around the time 2013 October. So this 2013 October time when I started this past year exam question answers, I was actually preparing for my own exam on my own purpose of passing the part 1 exam in 2014. So that was October 2013. Then after that, I started the part 2 in about a year later, 2014 August. Again, if you think back, now is August 2020, about 6 years ago. So you can see the curve. When you can see the curve, that there is some spike in between, and then later on flatten up. So the reason why it flattened up is because I have migrated everything to estateagentexam.com. So this old blogspot website actually no more for public use. And in between, I also did a free for everybody one, free for all type of resource center lah. This is a past year resource center where you get all the questions for past years without having to pay anything. So this is myrealestateforum.blogspot.com. So you can get all your past year questions from 2011 to 2019 free of charge here. Then around the reason that I did 2013, if you think about 2013 and the recorded timing, I started until now, which is estateagentexam.com 2013 October. So probably looking at it is this idea of working together to pass the exam and then eventually maybe even help each other up in setting up agency practice had been around for 7-8 years. So up to now, this is what was recorded. I've actually recorded down like a diary format in the website. So this one is in justletak.blogspot.com. So all the recorded things I have done over the years actually can be found in our Just Letak blogspot blogger. I was a blogger before. So now this blogger partner, the blogger, the blogspot.com. I'm no more putting up things. So this also brings us to the part why I started estateagentexam.com instead of continuing with the blogger free service. The purpose of having a separate server and separate website actually came from this reason. Because blogger for private readership actually limit the user to 100 subscriber. So for that reason, I open it for a better way to control traffic. Because ideally this is a resource center. So a resource center, we actually face with 2 or 3 issues. First issue is credibility of the resource. Credibility means people tend to find that your writing may not be credible, and therefore I am inviting a lot of criticism, and people may actually say that I steal or I copy their idea. So that is dangerous. So that's one reason. Second reason is I do not want my things also to be going around and then being found in other places. And my work is my work, so it is sort of copyrighted to me. So therefore, I actually restrict it to private use only. And thirdly, is because of commercial reason. I purposely put it like this because I don't like to maybe get involved with commercial use of my work, and then people are trying to later on link back to me, saying that I'm charging while actually they actually saw it as a third party. Right, on the part that here we are looking at the migration. We are migrating everything to estateagentexam.com actually January 2018. So now it's 2020, almost 2.5 years ago. So this was done at that time when I have not actually got my part 2 result yet. And in fact, you can see this part on the December 12th, 2017, I was retrenched. I got my retrenchment from my previous company. So I was at that time out of job already. So maybe in that sense also it allowed me to concentrate and focus on doing something else instead of continuing with the previous job. So from 2000 and earlier days, before 2017, I was a full-time working person. And we started this LPEPH exam WhatsApp group around time of January 2015. So by now it's about 5 years old. So of course we know a lot of people in our group. However, so these people, some of them actually very quiet, and then we do not know whether are they studying or are they still around. So 170 as of today, we have 170 people as of today, and you can see many of them, they are not active members. And then I think there are many reasons why these people do not, maybe do not push on to study and pass the exam. Many of them are looking at estate agency as maybe a safety net if in case that they are out of job, they have something to do. But these are also, I mean, it's inevitable and also unable to be denied that in this system of our socio-economic condition, anyone in the private sector can be out of job at any time. So maybe for that reason, there are people interested in doing this exam but never really go into the practice. Right, so this is a 10-year chart from early days when I started just the blogspot on the 2010 and until now, which is 2020. So in the sense that it has recorded all the milestones and timeline that I have done most of the work with this website. So it's good to actually do your own website and record down your progress, so that in a timely manner, you actually can look back and see what are the things that maybe deficient or need to be improved over days, over your eventual plan. So from the earlier days, doing just one free of charge, just the blogspot.com, starting the part 1 blogspot, and then starting the part 2, and after that having the free online resource for questions. Then we started the WhatsApp group, and then now the subscription-based estateagentexam.com, and I subsequently actually started another 2 more websites here. So over the years, I have learned a lot on to how to keep track and how I may be able to put things into website manner. So of course, recording down and putting down, you need a lot of time. So over years also, you have accumulated enough material inside your website, so it become more way more resource rich for your users. Right. Next, I think we go into the purpose. So my purpose today, I think a lot of people have been thinking that it's my purpose to make money or what. So I guess this is important to space out the issue, to explain. My purpose is in fact to enable people to do self-study. So self-study, you know that people who are in working adult usually do not have time for full-time study. So therefore, doing a part-time study in classes and things like that may be taking up too much time. Sometimes going to class and come back already very tired, so you don't really learn in the class, or you cannot perfect your learning. So by self-study, it enables people to get focused to what best to use their time. And my main thinking is that the website become an online library, an online resource library for people for purpose of getting resource and material and information on how to study. Where basically a lot of us are actually adult learners. We are able to, well, maybe analyze questions and also to argue and write out a good script for the examiner. And likely everyone who wants to study, who has that fire or spirit and semangat in them can actually do well, because the idea is that you are again, racing with yourself, and then if you can do better tomorrow than today, and then the day after, definitely better off is you are going to pass the exam. So everyone can study with this system online, 3G and above. In fact, you can study with your handphone, and then you must have the spirit, the determination that I like to use the word die must do. So if you set a target, you die must do, then you will be able to finish the exam. Again, I like to just recap. Just now we were saying that a lot of people are in our group, 170 of them, but most of them are not really into studying, because I think mostly they are doing it for safety net. So just in case they are unable to continue with their current job, there is another avenue for them to make a living. And the last is that, of course, our purpose here is to do this estate agency work, and also maybe for our investment, personal investment, buy property, as well as future planning. So next, we have our organization system. I have been thinking about it, and therefore vision and mission also important. And we are having this type of my three purpose. First is in the center, the self-study thing, which we do online self-study, and then we have the two ancillary or two types of other businesses that I am interested in. One is the agency business, which is the Just Letak property. Another one is the contract to you index business. In a way, it's a marketing advertising portal, not an agency. But the the Just Letak property would be likely a system of agency, how to organize an agency. So these are all the 4 websites, and now I am also organizing a YouTube channel. So, well, in the future, everyone will likely be seen in the media, is seen in the social media as a product. You are yourself a product in a social media. So therefore, well, it's good to have early start to establish that particular brand for yourself. So this is the few things that I do. Just Letak property, which everybody can advertise. Contract to you, fair deal for all. estateagentsexam.com, an online system of doing the diploma, and then my channel, the blog. Right, what is the motive? Now you can see that I have a motive maybe for the system of a few businesses, and then the result that I have now. In fact, I just say it is not to say I'm good or I'm not so good. It's just that you look back at your own report card. If you go back and look at your own report card over the last 10 years, then try to write out so you know what you have left behind and what you can do more. So I have passed the exam in 2017. I have done 3 individually different websites. And then I also have completed my training for 2 years. So now I'm working on my task and trying to get the interview, TPC interview. So any question that you want to ask, I think there's not many questions people want to ask, but anything that you want to ask, you can type inside the chat box, or you can shout out, talk to me, or you can give me a private message in the group. Right. My other reasons that I want to maybe do this Zoom meeting is to get your feedback and to see what are possible things to do. So although my journey now is to complete the task and then to do the TPC, I'll also put a lot of emphasis on family matters and then try to work on something for our group and also develop things for the future for our group. This is difficult without knowing what is needed in the sense of what is needed in the market. Although I can maybe put in effort and do more things for people, but then it needs to be a feedback thing where I actually know what is required, what is needed, and then only when I develop it or I go and think about it, then there is a fit or a narrowing of the expectation gap. So at least I know what is expected and how can I narrow the expectation and achieve the goals. So your participation is important, and at this moment I think a lot of people are not keen. I think mainly also for the reason that economically real estate is not doing well. So I can understand that. At least we are still in need of doing some sort of collaboration. I'm thinking of more towards getting networking done, at least within the 170 people in our group, and also maybe try to talk to them in case that they are coming up as a agency, small agencies, and also maybe some of them are negotiator going into own agency. So when they are in this aspect, maybe we can come up with some ideas to work together to do sharing of the system of how to best target the market. Because now on this part, I just want to attract the attention of cost on this cost of advertising, because a lot of people now using so many different platforms to do advertising, and the advertising cost is very expensive. In fact, some agency are spending more than 10,000 a month just to run the agency advertisement, and therefore agency advertisement or advertisement in a way is eating into the profit margin of the practice. And in fact, a lot of big agency firms are trying to overcome this by establishing their own advertising system. So like IQI, they are doing it with Zhuwei, and then they are also the other few who are already teaming up with these agencies, advertising agencies. So in a way, a small agency trying to survive is in fact very difficult for getting into this type of very heavy investment into advertising. Right, I'm thinking on some of these topics. So although we don't have people coming in, never mind, we are looking at some of these topics that may be useful for discussion in the future Zoom meeting. So this is of course the first one. We try to do every other week or every month. So at least somehow we can attract more people to come in and get more of us in the group to be active, to be able to plan for future collaboration. So you know that estate agency, in fact, talks about four aspects of how estate agency is actually run. One is on the top left. This is the law and the regulation. So if you are involved with estate agency, you must also be worried and concerned about law and regulation. The lower part is about your own ethical standard and the way you look at your own reputation. So third one is about your interaction with your other agency friend or your negotiator friend or your agency friends. The last is actually your involvement with the developer, bank, and the lawyer and the valuer. So in fact, all these four aspects of interaction can mean a lot of way business can be done. So business can be done on the aspect of specializing in any of these four forms. Some people specialize in just working a core agency. Some people actually work on the project sales part. Guys, I need to continue. So I'm thinking of doing this Zoom meeting thing in a manner that we can actually get some support from everybody. So it's not myself, it's not me to do it. It's like everyone can come and do for themselves. So like today, I have done something which I think is beneficial for me, because I look back into the last 10 years. What have I done in the last 10 years? So this is something which maybe everybody may want to do once in a while. It's just that maybe you do not want to, like, tell it to the public, but then it's good to take stock of what you have done and what are the things that you may later on want to emphasize or focus on. So like myself, I have done a few things, and then now I'm moving into a sort of a crossroad where I do not know what else should I do. Because in the earlier 10 years ago, when I had this thinking, I was thinking of doing something which may eventually become a maybe a good platform, a business platform for everybody. But it seems that it is not that simple and not that easy. So of course I need to tweak and change over time. And this is the purpose that I'm thinking doing more Zoom meeting and may be able to know what is required in the market now. So any question, anything you can ask, shout out or do private message to me. So we can do this by appointing someone, like maybe this time I will do it, next time somebody else in the meeting do it, so we can have this more often, and then we get more people to come in, and it's possibly that one day we will run out, we have no more idea, but it is okay, because WhatsApp will be around maybe for another few years, then taken over by another mode of communication. Zoom may be around for another few years, then later on another type of communication. education, so it is okay. That
No, because
up and down. Yes, Chong Seng, you want to say anything? Yeah, I think good point, Chong Seng, feedback from you, and also I have been thinking about getting more feedback like yours from others. But then, as you all know, everyone is busy with their own chore and also commitment in family. So a lot of time, these are the concerns that I think we are here to support. It will be our challenge to make it attractive for them to come in. We cannot be like some of these multi-level marketing or insurance company that launching new product or launching whatever that can make money. So we are not in that type of type of business model. So therefore, our side is those who are really serious and we are serious about our future career, and those I guess value type of subscriber or value type of future partners. We put it as future partners. So they can come in, and we are of course here to help each other. So this is my, I think, baseline thinking. Of course, we need to pass exam. Like you said, we are here to pass exam. Some has passed, and some is only left one subject to pass, like Chong Seng. And then others also may have one or two subjects just at the end. But at the passing of the exam, there will be a lot of questions to consider. Like, for example, some people will say, well, I'm still getting a good salary. Should I leave and then become a full-timer, or should I just stay on? These are the things that sometimes is quite personal. Sometimes these are things that maybe the seniors can help because they have gone through it. They have been in the industry. They are already 4 or 5 years in the business, so they know it initially would not do well, and then later on maybe can pick up or whatever. So these are experiences that they may benefit a lot onto newer people, younger people. So you are right, Chong Seng, for us to take into whatever sort of ideas and innovative ways to do things for them to come in. So for me, maybe Chong Seng, I just like to do the last bit, which is the main part, which is in case that we want to continue more on this type of subjects, what I will do is I will put it up into WhatsApp and then see what other things that we can come up with. Although my initial plan is that to have this meeting like once in every 2 weeks, once in a fortnight, and then see how is the response. But looks like the response is not going to be good because everyone is concerned about their own immediate, more urgent things. Families and work, and also maybe Saturday and Sunday they want to have good rest. So therefore, it is a challenging way for us to go on with this type of idea. Having one congruence or an idea that is everybody to agree is to pass the exam. That idea, I think, is definitely.
If you actually, sorry, raise hand first, raise hand. Hello?
Yeah, you.
Okay, if actually, if you could, like, maybe we have something like online classes, right? Like, for example, you get to have the list of people on what kind of exams that they are taking. Like, for example, you have 12 chapters for part 1 and part 2. You can actually get everyone to tell you what they will be studying. I mean, like, you get to know what they are studying, and you can actually shortlist maybe a class. Like, for example, law. Okay, we talk about law today, then people will come because they wanted something. They wanted to know about law, so they will come. It's like online education, Zoom online education. That's what I see. There is something much more beneficial, and that's what people will look forward for.
Right.
At least you are helping people to answer the questions, and you're telling people how to do the exams. People definitely come, if that's what I think.
Yeah, for that is my initial thinking. So the part on the initial thinking on doing more exam related things for people is indeed the way to go forward. Then we will have 50% of each. That means 50% on the exam side. That means like what you have said, Tung Seng, that we have a particular focus on that particular meeting, let's say law or that particular meeting on tax part, property tax, very difficult. And then another 50% part is probably for those people who are really into thinking about future. That means their career or their future potential in another business type of thinking. So in fact, I guess passing exam for a lot of people may be just putting in a lot of effort and then passing it, that's all. But the bigger issue is actually how to eventually stand alone and work on your own agency or your own future career, you see. So that part, I think I'm into it, and therefore I feel that it is quite a part where I am in a way I lack of mentor. I mean, if you go and speak to a senior estate agent, the senior registered estate agent would not likely guide you much on this, because they guide you and then eventually you become their competitor, you see. So this is tough. It's a bit like seafood is hard to find in that sense. I guess there's nothing much we are missing. So we have completed. I completed all my slide. All the slides are in the website. I would share the slide out later. So for those who are never into this Zoom meeting, they can see the slide.